and we are back with part two of our championship preview. We've got our guy James Massey here. So
Mm.
as the second part of our finals matchup this weekend starts tonight, man, how do you feel? Do you have any do you have the like goosebumps, butterflies in your stomach kind of feeling right now?
I do, man. Coming off a win, I may cry. Um, like last 2 weeks, uh, to just propel you into the finals, it's a feeling like no other. And so, um, butterflies in my stomach, but man, a lot of my fear is behind me, and just pure excitement for this next game. I'm gonna lay it all out there. So,
Yeah, I mean before we move on to only talking about your finals matchup, the upset win in the semifinals it was remarkable. So not even though you only held the record for most points in a week for 1 week, you still did that against the prohibitive betting favorite in Las Vegas, Miles
yes.
Webster. So, he's been conspicuously absent from our group chat. Is there anything that you feel like you want him to hear? If perhaps he might watch this video in the coming days.
Man, I hope as he watches this video, he laughs, he chuckles. I hope he sheds a couple tears. Just at the irony of a trade that was made last year, first round pick, and Tyreek Hill, who's back on his roster, and for Justin Jefferson. And all the way back then, I predicted this moment where I face him in the semifinals and squash him on my road to victory. So, I hope he hears that. He knows that I love him. Hear me say, Miles, come back to the group. We love you. We want to hear your hot takes. But man, it's a sweet feeling to put him in the
Yeah.
dirt.
Just in the Muppets Christmas Carol, there's a song called "A Thankful Heart," and that sounds
Mm,
like what I hear from you for the gift of Justin Jefferson this time last year. Who would have known how valuable he would be?
he's amazing,
Disproportionately
man.
valuable. So, in light of
So
that,
good.
let's talk about the matchup, but maybe more of the context, historical context around what's at stake in this matchup. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously both of you are in the Gulf South Division, our first year of divisions, and
Yep.
you represent the only member of your three-man division who hasn't won the Rookery Championship. But I
Yep.
guess the other way to say it is you could, you guys could create a monopoly this 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 week or these next 2 weeks. So I mean, just what would that mean to you as the commissioner of the league, as a member of the Gulf South Division, to like keep either way this team is getting is staying in the Gulf South, but to get to have all three champions be a member of that division.
Yeah. I mean, it says a lot. To go from being in the toilet bowl last year to
Mm.
being uh in the championship this year. So my hope is that this inspires the rest of our league to make investments in the off season, and just to know that anything can happen. But more than that, I would just love to see the trophy in my home, a ring on my finger, and the Gulf South division to all three of us have a victory, have a championship. Um, I think it would be cool for Juice to have two, but it'd be even cooler if all of us had one. So I'm gonna fight for it. So
Yes, I am too a big fan of socialism when it comes to championships. The more we can spread them out, the better.
yes,
So,
100%.
so I guess narrowing in on this actual matchup with Justin, who do you think's the X factor for you this week? Who's the guy that you're really dependent on that you think could be he's maybe not a prime like your number one option, but could maybe swing the week for you?
Just a recent text that I sent out to our group message. It seems like Isaac Garendo maybe out, and so kind of a random sleeper pick. I have what, maybe the whole 49ers offense on my team, and so maybe just the 49ers could be my X factor. I'm really hoping that Patrick Taylor takes over the lead back role. I can slide him into my flex, and he'll have a couple touchdowns. And then, a guy like Charbonnet who puts me through the semifinals. Man, if Kenneth Walker's out and he comes back from this oblique injury, just two sleepers that could really push me through with Dobbins out. Um, and, with the Judy information coming out, and then Pittman, Debo, and Waddle all being flops, I think this is what I need for a victory against a guy like Juice, who's got, man, a deep roster with guys who can put up points all across the board. I'm hoping he does what he thinks I will do with my quarterback and just play the wrong guys. And I think he's shown that he doesn't have the balls to play guys like Brian Thomas, the number 7 wide receiver overall. He's going to play Jonathan Taylor instead. Okay, I'd love that. Play him. So I'm excited.
Yes, you heard it here. Justin Hora does not have balls.
He doesn't.
So, and at the same time, I want to, highlight what you just said. You're essentially banking your week on a B tier and a D tier running back. Does how nervous does that make you? That those guys
I
are your
think
X factors.
no. So they're my X factors. They're the things that could change the course of the results of the championship. I will say ultimately it comes down to having the two best receivers in the game. Um, the two highest ceiling wide receivers with Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson as a pair. Who needs a quarterback when you've got two guys who can put up 50 at a blink of an eye? Both those guys could have 2 to 3 touchdowns each week, And so I think those ultimately are I'm riding the coattails of those two men. They are like my horses, and I am a gladiator, and I am just riding them through the finish.
I would like to turn your eyes to the very bottom of our league.
Mm,
Somehow, after that amazing analogy, um, the Trojan horse of our league, the one spitting out the feces of our league, Joey Carter,
mm.
our recently crowned toilet bowl champion. What what do you have to say to him? What kind of encouragement can you give to him as a recent toilet bowl participant yourself for his hopes for the next season or two?
I think everybody in this league knows that Joey is going to compete next year. He has it. It's sad to see how his season has turned out and finished. But it's fitting. It's his first season. He's a pledge. He gets beat up a little bit. He has to go through the ringer. He's got to eat some waffles and some poop, and he's gonna come back. And I think he's gonna make a run at the semifinals next season. He's gonna have guys like Neighbors and uh what who else does he have on his roster? That I'm trying to think of. He's got four
That's not
four
already
first
hurt.
round.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 first round draft picks. He's got Jonathan Brooks, who hopefully he'll make a comeback, and um, just a couple other guys that I think he can do a lot with. There were some trades that he made that were risky in the season and before the season. Me as a benefactor with James Cook, but at the same time, you gotta do something if you don't want to be middling, and so he did, and it didn't pan out this season, but I think it will next season. So. uh,
Yeah. As a middling manager, I would say it is nice to not be to know that you're safe from the toilet bowl. As someone who's
Yeah.
battling for either fifth or sixth place this week, it's nice,
Mhm.
just to kind of be right there in the mushy middle. But
Yeah.
we'll see. So, do you have any other words? Just putting your commissioner hat on that you just want to state of the league or anything like that you feel like you need to say as we approach championship week?
Yeah. I would just say this has been the best season thus far. the commitment from league members, the buy-in to trash talk, to trading, and just all around vibes of the league have been immaculate. And my hope is that we would finish that way. I think middle of the season we were, in prime time. Of course, the hype at the beginning of the season was great, but as the season ends, I would urge people to buy in, to get excited, cast your vote, and play hard to the end because every game matters, especially for draft picks. So,
All right, Commissioner Massey, thank you for your time on a look at the Rook, and
yeah, thank you.
best of luck.